Nigel, just team news, we can start there. Fraser Campbell, how is he?
All the guys are looking good. They've done some part of training through the course of the week. So for me, there's probably only going to be Angus MacDonald that won't be in a consideration for the game at the weekend.
Will you make a decision on Campbell and Burke tomorrow, or would you expect them to be ready?
I'm sure all of the players will want to put themselves forward, and we'll just see where that takes us.
Okay, Marcus Henriksen back. Is your captain, is his inclusion guaranteed?
As I said, I'm going to sit down, assess all the players. They all want to play. They all want to be involved. You know, it should be an exciting game for us. It's an exciting week for us. And all the players will want to be putting themselves forward to be involved.
But on Marcus, it will be hard on someone on the back of a win to drop anyone from that team last week, wouldn't it? I've
changed teams when we've won, and I've changed teams when we've lost, so that's never been an issue for me. My focus is going into, as I've always gone and done, you know, we talk about being on the high wires, the process that we go through. The next game's the most important one. Can we prepare right through the course of the week? You know, we've been on the grass, we've been the physical side of it, the tactical side of it. We've done our analysis on the opposition, Reading, our video analysis and all the things that go with it. And for me now, it's making sure that I go and put the team out, and I make sure that the impact we've got coming off the bench as well, because that's important nowadays. That we get that right to give ourselves the opportunity to go and win the game against what is a team, although they've been in a relegation battle, they've got a new manager in there. It takes time for them philosophies to come into place, especially when you come from a different country. And they're very good in their possession of the football now. You know, that's changed dramatically. So we know that we've got to be mindful that the opposition potentially now will have long spells of possession of the football. And they've got a massive threat on the counter-attack as well with some of the pace they've got. And on the back of the good win that they just had at the weekend against Preston North End, who are, like ourselves, challenging for the playoff positions.
Are we in must-win territory this weekend?
With 7 games to go now, the important thing is, you know, we've got 2 home games now. I'm talking about the next game is the most important one. And that's what our mindset has been and the process has been, is getting all our energies right to win the next game of football. I've said to it when we were bottom of the league, it's how are we going to win that game of football? Keep working through the process, and that for me doesn't change.
Would you have to win this weekend?
Well, our objective is to go and win, and it keeps us in the race. If we don't, then it obviously makes it more challenging. But we're not thinking that way, are we? Because we're all nice and positive, and that positive energy needs to be driven amongst the players. Should be an exciting game. It should be an exciting day. Now the supporters coming down, everything to gain, nothing to lose. Exciting day in store.
How many do you think are in the race for the playoffs?
Well, there's several teams in there. You know, we talk about where we are, we're in it. So the teams that are above us are obviously in it. And who knows? We've seen it so many times. Everyone's got to play each other. Points are up for grabs. You know, if you can get yourself around that 70-point mark, just above 70 points, it gives you an opportunity. Our form, I think when we look at it, we've been averaging, I think it's 1.8 points a game since when I think it was the Bristol City game that we lost. So I think we were down the bottom of the league then. If that had continued for the whole season, that would have put us 4th in the league. However, we were below that before them games. So we've got to make sure that we're averaging as many points as we can. Take that aside, you're right, we need to go and look to win the next game, and that's what all our energies are focused on. That's what the preparation through the course of the week's been. Obviously, from my point of view, I'm looking as well of the games we've got coming up. Wigan on the Wednesday at home, and then Middlesbrough, who were 4 points behind, on the Saturday. I went on to watch Middlesbrough the other night against Bristol City. You know, so we're still doing our preparation and all the work behind the scenes to give ourselves the right opportunity to go and win the next game of football.
Do you think realistically that top 4 is set in stone, that they're not going to fall out of the top 6?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think they've put themselves in a good position with the amount of points there. So they're going to be challenging, but still you don't know. They're fighting for them. There's 3 teams fighting for the top 2 positions, and obviously the playoff positions. It'll be interesting to see if they change the manager at West Brom and they bring somebody in to try and get them across the line. So that'll be an interesting dynamic. But I think, you know, as I say, everyone's got to play each other. Who knows what can happen? Can't affect that. All we can affect is what we do. All we can affect is how we prepare through the course of the week with the players, give them every opportunity, a structure, but a belief that go and do what they're good at, to go out and just perform to their best abilities, and let's see where that takes us on what's going to be a challenging game. Both teams need to win it. We said that last week. We got the victory. So it should be, again, it's exciting, isn't it? It should be exciting. I think that's the important message. You know, maybe if you go back to, I'm just thinking about that now, what were the messages coming out in October when we were bottom of the league? Same messages from me in our preparation going into the games, but obviously from our point of view now, we're talking about, can we still get in that playoff position? You know, 4th of April, we're still talking about, can we still get in that playoff position? I think it's great.
Do you think 5th and 6th are the 2 spots up for grabs?
I think West Brom in 4th position have probably got enough points in there, but you never know. They've still got to go and get more points. You know, whoever's in that playoff position, they've got to get in advance of 70 points come the end of the season.
Do you think you're realistically going to have to win 6 of the last 7? Is it that tall an order, do you think?
Well, listen, it's in that realms, but as I said, we've got to get over 70 points. So concentrate all our energies on winning the next game. Concentrate all our energies on how do we prepare to win that next game of football. And that's what I've been doing this week.
Give an insight to supporters and what makes Andy so special.
Okay, Andy Crosby, obviously a vastly experienced player, 700 plus games. We've been together and a captain who's won things. We've been together for a long time. So obviously from our period of time at Scunthorpe United. So it's probably 12 years now we've been together. We've been to several clubs, so he's had the experience of getting qualified and taking more responsibility and seeing things. He's somebody that I can trust, someone we can have an honest conversation, because that's important in life. You don't want people telling you what you want to hear. You need people to challenge you in the right manner, in a private way, because you want to be tested all the time yourself. So we can have an honest conversation, knowing that it's not personal, knowing we're trying to get the best to keep improving. He's got a great rapport with the players. He's an excellent coach, tactically, mentally, wants to do well, wants to improve, great family man, all round good person, and that's what you want. You know, there's a great book, Good to Great, Jim Collins, and he talked about all the successful businesses throughout America and throughout the world over decades, many years. And one of the biggest things they talked about when they analysed it all, you're driving the bus, so there's your company, your team, you're driving the bus, just get good people on the bus. You might change the seat they sit in, but just get good people on the bus. Andy Crosby's a good person. He's a good man, and I think he would be an asset to anybody at a football club. And again, when you highlight the clubs we've been at, and we highlight the players that we've had, young players who've been given debuts, players who have developed, and players that have got on to great honours, and players that have been sold for millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of pounds. Andy Crosby's been a big part of that, as well as other people as well who we've been at our football clubs.